What's up, everyone? It's the Interview Queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are back once again with a late but never not here edition of Collision Discourse number 10, All In All Stars, reviewing the Go Home Show edition of AEW Collision before AEW All In London. I am here by my co-host, as always, the soberest man on wrestling YouTube. He is just JJ.
Yeah, I'm changing my life around, man. I'm trying to be a better man in days, stay healthy. Juice, drink some water, no more tequila on our live stream. That's just a celebration.
It's a celebration, bitches. It's a celebration.
Right,
how you doing?
Just like All In. Basically, All In was tequila out. But I'm doing great, man. It's a beautiful Monday. I don't know how you even be saying that. It's a beautiful day.
Whatever day you're watching this.
Yeah, I could. I'm a little out of it. So I lost kind of track of my days. But it's a beautiful day. Whatever day you're watching this, it's a beautiful day.
You tried your
right. All right.
But yes, we're here to review AEW Collision after we've already watched AEW All In London. And after all of you have probably watched AEW All In London, and after you watched our AEW All In London 2023 review. So check all that out if you haven't already. Drop the thumbs up on this video. Share it with your friends. Comment down below. Tell us what you thought about AEW Collision. How was Collision with only its second ever taped episode, taped on a Wednesday following Dynamite? And I mean, I will say with the first two taped episodes, it's very clear these are taped episodes.
Right. It's not even like hidden. It's like they didn't even have the matches they taped in order, which they clearly you can tell. It's just this was like more like felt more like a pre-show than a episode of Collision. So.
Yeah, so it felt like more of like a countdown to AEW All In than an episode of Collision. But they did some final angles for a bunch of stuff for AEW All In, and that brings us to the opening of the show. If you're watching us on the premiere, sound off as well. You can in the live chat, but most of all, let us know in the comments down below what you thought about the August 26th edition of AEW Collision. But the August 26th, 2023 edition of AEW Collision was from the same site as Dynamite, Duluth, Georgia, because it was taped after Dynamite. And the show kicked off with FTW champion Jack Perry coming out to the ring for the retirement of the FTW championship. The ring is set up like for a funeral. He comes out with this big like board that has the FTW championship on it with people holding it. Perry says it was a good title. Was just misunderstood at times. Instead of being sad at its demise, we should remember the good times. And he shows videos and pictures of him with the FTW championship in various places, including his bed, the bathtub, by the pool, and the shower. It's time to send the title to a better place, says Jack Perry, and that means it's time for a sledgehammer. He brings out the sledgehammer, but then we cut to a video of Hook working out on some street lights like a regular New Yorker.
Most New Yorker, the most New York shit ever.
Most New York shit ever, as he says, this wasn't a good idea, and now he is here. And when the lights come back on, he's in the ring. The beatdown is on. He attacks Jack Perry, beats him all over the funeral set. He gets the table. He sets it up in the corner, and he hits a big T-bone suplex through the table in the corner. And then Hook gets on the mic and says, Wembley, Sunday, to set up a 0-hour FTW championship match between Hook and Jack Perry. I thought Hook's return was done well. even though it did kind of feel like a rush segment. I think they could have spread this out if they had more faith probably in Jack Perry on the mic.
Listen, and I'm gonna completely suspend my disbelief and not know that it was taped or anything. I'm gonna completely suspend it. You mean to tell me we're supposed to believe that they're having a segment at this time on a Saturday night and have time to make it to Wembley the next day? Come on, son.
Come on, you can't hold that against them. Would you stop? You can't hold that against them. Now you're thinking of something that not a lot of wrestling fans are even going to think of, or the only people that are going to think of is WWE fans that would be like, they're breaking the fourth wall, they're breaking kayfabe.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but let's be real. Like, come on, they go all the way to London in less than 20, not even less than 10 hours.
Hey, it's an 8-hour flight. I know it's an 8-hour flight there and back.
Right, and they had to this segment was supposed to be on Dynamite, so I don't know what happened with that. Like, they just completely mixed that and then didn't even promote it. It just went to, I guess it just went to Collision. I wish it would have been on Dynamite because I would have made more sense. And it, like you said, it did feel rushed. It felt more like, oh, let's hurry to get this match announced. Like, I didn't feel that, but. Of course, it made Hook look strong. He came back, got his revenge, and then obviously he would go on to All In and, do what he did. And then obviously we know what Jungle Boy did. So,
hey, Jack Perry was got more headlines coming out of All In than anybody probably on the roster.
That says a lot.
Still some headlines. Getting choked out and duffed out.
You get choked out. You get choked out. And as a gimmick, and then you get choked out going backstage. That gotta hurt.
You just woke up. Why are you talking shit? Next we had a trios matchup. It was Orange Cassidy, Penta El Zero Miedo, and Eddie Kingston teaming up to verse the Butcher and the Blade and Kip Sabian. This was a warm-up match for the baby faces here as they face some heel trio, a very established heel trio in Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade. I thought that the baby faces worked well together, especially towards the end of the matchup. But this one featured a lot of good matchups one-on-one, whether it was Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian renewing their rivalry, whether it was the big men of Eddie Kingston and the Butcher going at it, Blade and Penta going at it. In the end, it was basically a combination from the baby faces as Cassidy hit a orange punch on the Butcher. We got an exploder by Eddie to Sabian, and then made in Japan to Sabian for the baby faces to pick up the victory here. Strong matchup, solid matchup here. And then post-match, we get Trent on the mic, who basically calls out the BCC, says that they made things personal when they attacked Sue. They came after his mom. So now Stadium Stampede, they are determined to end them for good. They broke Trent's mom, and now they're coming for revenge. The club then pops up on the screen, and we get John Moxley, who says it shouldn't be a surprise that they picked Santana and Ortiz to Eddie Kingston. Kingston is not a good friend. He's let people down, and that's why they have aligned with them. Santana says you reap what you sold, and he says that at Stadium Stampede they're going to take theirs. Or Ortiz reiterates that they are coming for everything at Stadium Stampede. This does not please Eddie Kingston at all, who goes straight to the back. The other four stay back as Castagnoli says that Eddie Kingston and company will be out of friends again soon. We cut to the back where Eddie Kingston has a steel chair, but he can't find anyone. Kingston promises to everyone, especially Moxley, that they had he says that they are coming for them, and he says that he's coming for their blood at Wembley Stadium. I thought this was a nice go-home segment, showing that the baby faces could work together. The promo by the BCC, Santana Ortiz, was good, but Eddie Kingston, man, the realest guy on the mic. Like, he just makes you believe everything he's saying, and he took this segment to the next level.
Like I don't think Eddie Kingston knows wrestling is predetermined. I believe Eddie Kingston probably I think he thinks it's real.
It's all real to
This
Eddie.
right? It's all real to him. It's still real to me, damn it. This was to me it was the strongest promo for the night. Leading into the great Stadium Stampede match that was going to happen on Sunday. It made sense. Mox explaining why they got Santana Ortiz and Eddie keeping it real. You know why they did it. So it made sense going into the match. We're not rather than they returned on Dynamite, threw them in there, and then like what the hell. So I appreciate them doing that leading up to that match. Great promo. Of course, making them look good heading into the match on Sunday. It's great. Just great all around. Great promo all around. Obviously, we're going to see what would happen that Sunday. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, this was one of the better parts of this go home
episode
here. I will say. We then get a video package for FTR versus the Young Bucks. Both of them talking about how important this match is to their legacy. That's real quick. And then we get some tag team action on this episode here, as it's the Dark Order of John Silva and Alex Reynolds going up against Action Andretti and Darius Martin. This match goes 8 minutes 37 seconds. A little bit of that is cut in by the commercial break, but we get about 5 minutes of this matchup, and we start to see that the Dark Order is taking things a little bit more seriously, a little bit more aggressive. John Silver makes the save for Alex Reynolds when he's about to get pinned by a springboard 450. They send Action Andretti to the outside and then double team Darius Martin. They hit a jawbreaker into the German suplex, into the flipping cradle to get the victory here. Dark Order seems to be kind of building momentum here, whether it's as a tag team, as a trios, whether it's on Ring of Honor or AEW, picking up some wins, something that we haven't seen in a while. I thought this was a decent enough match. What did you think?
Strong showing for, like you said, Dark Order, like making them seem I feel like they always should have been presented serious. I understand why they weren't at the time, because they were trying to lighten the mood after Brody's passing. So they tried to make them seem, of course, more of more energy to them to lighten the mood of the whole situation. Even the theme, their entrance now, I didn't know they had new music. That just sounds fire. It seems more serious. Yeah. So hopefully it continues. Hopefully it's something for them. Like at least give them a title run or something. I feel like Dark Order's been long overdue with that. Unfortunately, they have definitely lost a lot of momentum in the last year. So hopefully with this more serious gimmick for them, it helps propel them back up. Because now that the FTR is done with the Bucks, what's next?
Yeah, that's the interesting part, because FTR has gone through a couple of top tag teams in Bullet Club Gold, in the Young Bucks, and Better Than You, Baby. So who do you think is next for FTR?
I would think now, kind of, because they're getting a lot of momentum and they're getting over. I would think they might run it back with the Guns. I can see that, because the Guns having momentum now, being with the Bang Bang Gang. I can see that. Other than that, unless Aussie Open lost the titles, unless we get that feud finally.
I was gonna say, I think Aussie Open lost the ROH tag team titles because they're gonna be positioned back into the AEW tag team division.
That's what I'm saying. I could think that's the only other team I could think of as of right now, because Dark Order can eventually get to that point if they continue to build momentum, but I don't see it happening right now. But shit, even with the House of Black, they just lost.
I was gonna say Kings of the Black Throne. I was gonna say that. I was like, Kings of the Black Throne, right
there. So that I can see. So there's a couple. There's shit, and every team we just named, those can all be bangers. So they have potential. I don't know. Even with the Bucks walking away like that, that was the third match. So I don't want them to run it back right now. Like don't. They've already lost. So
I wouldn't run him back until probably next year.
Yeah.
Give me one per year. You can make it like
double
that
or nothing. Right? Yeah, do it double or nothing. Make it a
Give me Revolution. I would be all right with
Revolution.
Revolution. We we get a recap of what happened on Wednesday with Swerve Strickland firing AR Fox from Mogul Embassy, and then we see what happened after the show as Nick Wayne and Darby Allin are being interviewed by Lexi Nair. We get AR Fox coming in to apologize to Nick Wayne and Darby Allin for everything that happened. Fox offers a handshake to Wayne, who walked away. Allin shook Fox's hand though. But this was a needed fucking segment after Wednesday. This was so needed because everybody, one of the big logic holes of the entire episode was Nick Wayne being okay with one of his suspected murderers being forgiven by his best friend.
Right. They should have jumped him. I'm sorry. I wanted him to slap him or say, ain't no way in hell you had the audacity to come to me. I don't care how much your life turned around in the span of 20 minutes because they kicked you to the curb. Don't you dare. Don't you? You think it's sweet? You think it's all good after what you did to me? Pulling up to my crib trying to kill me? They should have jumped him.
To the crib?
Yeah, nah. They should have jumped him. And even that, I don't like that. Like, yo, just you really just got kicked out of the group. So now you're trying to make amends automatically? No, that's not how this.
No, that actually seems realistic. I'm sorry.
That was bullshit.
That seems realistic. I'm sorry. That seems realistic as fuck. You get a friend that join a gang, he get kicked out of the gang. He gonna call you. He gonna be like, "Yo, how you feeling?" And you should feel like that. Like how you feel about AR Fox. Like,
what's up, big hand? What's up, big hand? I'm not even talking to you in here. Sit down.
This is all the emotions they want you to feel.
Yeah, was like, give me a break.
We get a new acclaimed music video on how Billy Gunn is back, and they're coming for the House of Black. You don't seem pleased.
That was garbage. That went on way too long. Yeah. Oh my God, I went on way too long. Then it should have. Billy Gunn's got standing behind. Like, get this off my screen. Get it out of here.
Hey, I like the beat. The beat was nice.
I'm over that claim, bro. I'm so All In did them no favors in my eyes. I'm sorry.
We get a video recap of the women's title matchup for All In, and then we get Big Bill coming out with Ricky Starks for the final week of Ricky's suspension as Big Bill goes one-on-one with Very Morales, and 1 minute, 35 seconds. Big Bill gets the win with a choke slam. After the match, Ricky Starks tells Very Morales that he reminds him of a young Ricky Steamboat. So he's going to show him how he treats anyone who looks like Ricky Steamboat, and he starts whipping him with the belt. Ricky, once again, being a great heel on this night. And then next week, he's back being a wrestler. What's going to happen? How do you think they progress this whole thing with Ricky Starks and Big Bill?
This is bothering me. We're deja vu again, man. Like All Out, another All Out where we don't have a full card, and literally prior to the night before. I don't like this. Yeah, mind you, they already screwed themselves having a week build build because of All In. So I don't know. Like, what do you? Does Ray look throw him in a match next weekend? Like, I don't know where they go with this, man. I don't know. I'm enjoying Ricky's character nonetheless, though, and having Big Bill, Big Sid as the backup. I'm enjoying that, but like, what are they going to do with him? He better not be off the All Out card. They already had him miss Wembley, so that would kind of suck, especially right now with his momentum. Like, no.
Well, the guy he was probably going to face might be suspended.
Yeah, right. Yo, and even that, man. I don't want to touch on that too much because this is Collision, but it's like that, like, bro, a week before you go home. When everybody in that company
on the most important day in the company's history, you couldn't let this young whippersnapper, this young Dylan McKay, this young Hollywood upstart, you couldn't let him just. You
said it right.
Hey, I'm not even gonna deal with you. I got bigger fish to fry.
I'm literally about to have a match. Be the bigger man, Punk. You're supposed to be a locker room leader. Be the bigger man for once. I understand how tensions could be the case, but sometimes you gotta understand, yo, you literally have the whole world watching you right now. Like, you are in the damn dirt sheets every single week with some BS. You've only been back for 2 months, 8 weeks. You gotta sometimes put that. You are 44 years old. This ain't Ring of Honor. This ain't early straight edge ECW CM Punk anymore. You are 44 years old, bro. And sometimes you gotta understand, make business. Now you probably about to miss out on a big show when everybody knows you're the draw for AEW or you're the draw for Chicago. Period. Not even just AEW. Yeah. Come on, man.
I don't understand it, but here we are, a week ahead of All Out, and in the same position we were after All Out last year.
Yo,
anyway,
seriously, if I mean, I know he's not because he's a mark. Yo, Punk, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna still pay you, but you got. I don't want you anymore.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
It's crazy.
Speaking of All Out, you had Ruby Soho has an interview with Lexi Nair where she challenges Chris Statlander for the TBS championship at AEW All Out. Solo calls Statlander more than a woman, but less than an outcast. Later in the night, we hear from Chris Statlander, who accepts the challenge for AEW All Out and says she's sick of being stepped on by people like Ruby Soho, so they're on. It was made official, but honestly, I'll just say, because like I said, one of my only big nitpicks of the AEW All In show, if you watched our review, was the lack of woman representation. You're telling me we couldn't get a flight for Chris Statlander to be here? Because Ruby was there and dressed to compete. So we couldn't, you did a 2-hour pre-show. We can't get a second women's match on that.
And you had a lot of time to kill before you even went to the main show. Like that that Jungle Boy and Hook match. After that ended, I still had like 20 minutes left on the pre-show. Could have been another match. I could have had the women's. I could have had that match on All In, because this shit, to be honest, it ain't gonna make much of a difference being on All Out.
No, not at all. But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy who does the YouTube.
With common sense. It's clearly that ain't common.
We see some. We go next to our next matchup, which is the women's matchup for this show, as it's Willow Nightingale. We have one-on-one action against Robin Renegade, Charlotte Renegade at ringside in her corner. And I was surprised by this match getting a bunch of time. But ladies worked all right with one another. This got cut in by a commercial break, of course, as well. So we only saw about 5 to 6 minutes of this matchup. That Willow Nightingale picked up the victory with the Bay, with the power bomb, with the 1-2-3, picking up the win against one half of the Renegade Twins. Willow Nightingale picking up back-to-back victories last week against Diamante. This week here, are they positioning her as maybe a contender for, spoiler alert, the new AEW Women's World Champion, Saraya?
I think so. They kept bringing it up during the match. And I feel like that's where they're probably headed. They kept talking about it too much. So I'm feeling like, I'm going to start calling her Workhorse Willow. Workhorse Willow. I feel like she's due for, even if she doesn't win, she's due for a title match in probably the next month or so.
I agree. I mean, she came up short at Forbidden Door, but that was a good matchup. And she's been probably the second best woman on the AEW roster. And it's ironic that the two women that are on the AEW roster that have had the best years have probably had the best years on not actually AEW in Athena and Willow Nightingale.
Yeah. And honestly, as soon as I said what I said about her getting a title shot, Willow's also kind of considered New Japan as well. Save it for the new pay-per-view. The
Wrestle Dream. Yeah, Wrestle Dream. Either that, or if she's healthy, Mercedes Moné. I think that's the spot to do Mercedes.
To be honest, that's probably why that could probably be one of the reasons they're doing that show.
Yeah. We get a video package for the Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs rivalry, and then we get a little bit of what I consider a surprise on this show. It's Keith Lee. Keith Lee is on Collision. Keith Lee is a Collider. He's here for one-on-one action against former Impact Wrestling star, former NWA star, even though he made his return at NWA 75, Ziggy Dice. Ziggy Dice here to job out to Keith Lee, but he still makes me laugh. Ziggy Dice is such a great jobber. He tries to hammer away at Keith Lee a couple of times before Keith Lee pounces him for his efforts. He eventually hits the supernova to get the win in 1 minute 35 seconds. It just felt good to see Keith Lee back on TV.
And
what did you think?
Still over like hell. And to be honest, when he came out, he looks a little better. Looks in a much better shape. You know, he didn't look, all big and bloated like he did the last few months he was there with Swerve and having a Swerve feud. So he actually came back looking in a little much better shape. So ironically, everybody thought he was gone from AEW. I guess Tony had to shut people up and just say, "Can you please come? Can you come this week? Can you just shut him up?"
It's because he left early from a Dynamite taping. People thought he was leaving. We go to Mexico, where La Faction Ingonables have week 2 of their kidnapping. They've been kidnapped, they've been beaten up, and then they fought back. They beat up their attackers, only to be knocked down again by someone we can't see. And then we see, I think it was Jose, the assistant, walking in and clapping for them. This is all weird. No one online had pictures for it, so I just described it to you. But
what is it? What the hell is this? Once Upon a Time in Mexico? Like, what's going on, man? They try to make that seem like a whole action movie. Like the blood dripping down the face. Come on, let's go. And then they get it. They're like, what is going on? What are we doing? What are we doing right now? They're gonna be stuck in Mexico, I guess, the next few weeks.
Cinema, JJ, cinema.
Oh my God!
Gotta love the cinema. But yeah, I'm interested in this story. I'm sorry, I just
the first week was pretty much not. I was too. The first week was kind of hilarious. Them getting kidnapped. This one was a little cheesy for my taste. Because I don't know why they thought I don't know what they thought it was an action movie, Desperado or something. So that was my only gripe. I do want to see where this goes. I want to see what happens still. So I'm still intrigued, but this segment was a little cheesy. Sorry.
That's fair. We get Samoa Joe coming out to join the commentary team. He rants about how he wants to get his hands on CM Punk before he gets on the mic, before he joins commentary, and he says he's annoyed by he wants to get his hands on CM Punk, but he has been told to wait until All In. Therefore, tonight he'll be on commentary for the main event where everyone can see him and be a professional. But the beating is coming on Sunday. They run down the card, including Jack Perry versus Hook added to the All In 0 Hour. We get a video package for CM Punk and Samoa Joe. And this leads us to the main event, the All In 8-man All-Star Tag Team matchup. CM Punk leading Hook, who was the mystery partner, Darby Allin, and Sting to face Switchblade Jay White, Luchasaurus, Brian Cage, and Swerve Strickland. A multiple of people at ringside here. The Guns and Juice Robinson for Switchblade. He had Christian Cage out here for Luchasaurus. Prince Nana was out here for Brian Cage and Swerve Strickland. Then this match broke down as you would expect, with everybody kind of hitting different moves and different teases of different one-on-one matchups, whether it was CM Punk versus Jay White continuing a rivalry they kind of started in other multi-man matches. You had CM Punk going at it with Swerve Strickland at various points in the matchup here. You also had Sting going at it with Swerve to preview All In. Darby went at it with Swerve. Darby and Jay White, I thought, had the best exchange out of anyone. That felt like a new matchup. Their exchange at the end was kind of a highlight of the whole entire matchup. It came down to CM Punk fighting it out with Brian Cage in the ring, where he delivers the GTS, but doesn't pin him after that. JJ, he instead puts on the Kakina clutch right in front of Samoa Joe, pissing off the Samoa submission machine and getting the victory, CM Punk, over Brian Cage via tap out. Immediately after the bell rings, Joe makes sure with the rest of the commentary team, the match is officially over now. Am I correct, gentlemen? And they say yes. He says, I have to take care of business. Takes off his headset and immediately attacks CM Punk. A brawl ensues with Christian Cage going at it with Darby Allin. Sting's going at it with Swerve Strickland. You got people brawling all over the floor. Jack Perry comes out to brawl with Hook. Punk and Joe are going at it. And then finally, Joe lays out Punk with the real world championship and holds it high in the sky before Darby Allin kind of stares down with him to make Samoa Joe bail here. But we end the show with Samoa Joe standing tall before Wembley Stadium. I thought this was a nice close to the show, and the matchup was a very good matchup. I thought, like I said, a couple of really good teases of potential matchups throughout this one, and I thought everybody played their roles superbly. Definitely the match of the night on this one, and I like the post-match building up Joe and Punk just a little bit with the brawl.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you said. Of course, they did everything right to set up the matches the matches they have to go into for All In. The post match with Joe, like basically running right in there as soon as he was able to get on Punk. What I did not like was how Brian Cage just lost like that. But whatever. He was the weakest one in the man, so I guess that was a given. But yeah, it's very fun. Again, that's Collision has been doing well with the multi-man tag matches since the beginning of the show, so I enjoyed it very much. Definitely match of the night.
All agreed there. Yeah, I didn't even know why Brian Cage was in this match because everybody else in this match is actually on the All In card. He was the only one who wasn't actually.
He had to be the one. He had to be the one to take the fall, man.
Yeah, he's just there to take the pin, basically.
Yeah, who's there that doesn't work tomorrow? All right, you Cage it. Come on,
you could tap out to CM Punk, right? You can do that. But all in all, I thought this was a fine episode of Collision. So we'll put our thumbs in the middle for the August 26, 2023 edition of AEW Collision in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board out of 10. What did you give the show?
I was going to say, Dan, should I keep thumbs in the middle, but I gave it a 6. So obviously a 6 is still over. So that's all the thumbs. Yeah, exactly. Barely.
Barely. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10, mostly due to the main event and the opening matchup. Those are the two.
Open the match and then the segment. The post-match segment. I enjoyed it.
Exactly. Who is your MVP for the show, JJ? Or as we call it on the AE Ramble, we call it the Maxwell Jacob Freeman Most Valuable Player.
The Maxwell Award. So who we got to name this for Collision now? Who would you consider an MVP caliber for Collision? I'm not giving that to Punk. I don't care if it's a show.
Who have we gave the MVP the most to in 10 episodes?
We can call it the Bang Bang Gang Award.
The Bang Bang Gang Most Valuable Player Award. Absolutely. They won MVP last week, so they get the honor of being the Bang Bang Gang Most Valuable Player Award. So who wins it?
For this week, I'll give it to Hook. Came back strong, laid out, and then obviously what he was going to do the next night. So that's definitely MVP worthy. I'll give it to Hook.
That seems legit. I'm going to give it to Eddie Kingston. Even he got the win, and then that promo, and then that threatened to kill people. He said he's going to kill people in Wembley Stadium. And damn near did it. Damn near did it in that matchup. The LVP, which I will call the Wardlow Least Valuable Player Award.
The Wardlow Award. Oh man! Right,
he won our first LVP award. So
he ain't been seen since, so he must be a loser. So for this week for LVP, Brian Cage definitely looked like a jabroni. To CM Punk of all people. That was weak. That was super weak.
That's fair. I'm going to give it to Ziggy Dice. because he was a jabroni. He
Nobody
was
said he was
definitely the
jabroni,
biggest
right.
jabroni on this show. And Keith Lee is back, so got to give him some love. So I'll give it to Ziggy.
Yeah. Well, honorable mention for the Bang Bang Gang Awards. Keith Lee came back looking in better shape, and he just ran through Ziggy. So yeah,
if he finds himself a story, then I can give him MVP. Find yourself a story on Collision, then I'll give you that thumbs up. But that brings us to a close on another edition of Collision Discourse. Just JJ, you want to let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they'll see you next time.
Follow your boy on Instagram, Axel_J_Duggan, Twitter. So we got JJ. Of course, me and my good brother. I would say we do this Sundays, but it looks like we do this Sundays and Monday for Collision Discourse.
Whatever day we can put it out to the masses and the people, but we'll try our best next Sunday to put something out, even though I'll be in Chicago. But I'll be at Collision Live. We'll both. We'll both be there. So what we're doing, we're gonna do the first live show together. Yeah. Oh, let's go.
We'll do our live thoughts on Collision next week. Maybe Rated Raw Superstars soon. Elite Heat sometimes. If I don't want to go to sleep before work. I do most watch along pay-per-views if I'm not there. And True Hill Heat beat your Heat.
Yes, the catchphrase sweeping the nation, apparently. You can follow me on the Twitter, on the X machine at True Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, X, Instagram, or TikTok at True Heel Heat. Patreon.com/True Heel Heat. No, you didn't have a Rated Raw Superstars this week, so check out the Raw report over at Patreon.com/True Heel Heat. Either dropping today or later tomorrow, so don't worry about that. You can check that out. And also subscribe to the True Hill Heat Sports YouTube channel, as we'll be having more content over there with the start of the football season coming up. And also follow us over at twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Gaming every Thursday, Blunt Impact, and we'll have more content over there as well. But for Sober Guy JJ, also don't forget to check out our AEW All In London review from yesterday. It had myself, True Draw Josh, and Chris G breaking down the show from London, England, Wembley Stadium, as only we can. So check that out. Like, comment, share, and subscribe on that. Like, comment, share, and subscribe on this. For Sober Guy JJ, Just JJ, Drunk Guy JJ, all the JJs.
Yeah, JJ.
It is me. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been Collision Discourse number 10, All In All Stars, for the August 26th, 2023 edition of AEW Collision. We are signing off until next time.